If it wasn't for your father, I would teach you and her a lesson right here, right now.
I am tired of hearing the fat on the other side of the wall, all right? I know what you're doing. You're a naughty, dirty little boy. You know what I can hear from the other side of that wall? You're not even doing it correctly. That's right.
Welcome to the Adult Time Podcast.
Hello, everybody. My name is Bree Mills. Welcome to the Adult Time Podcast. I feel like I am here with my moms today. And maybe I am. We've spent so much time together. Yeah. And I've had you in so many different amazing stepmom roles. Yeah. But I have never played your daughter or perhaps your son. So today on the Adult Time Podcast, I'm here with the incredible Sophia Locke, Lexi Luna. Thank y'all for being here.
Of course.
Sure.
Thank you for having us.
Our pleasure.
So much fun.
Immediately weird.
So much fun. I've had you both on before individually.
Yes.
Very memorable interviews. Sophia, you were the first one to
Render you speechless.
Render me completely speechless.
Yes.
Wild.
Proud of that.
And I still have
Flashbacks?
flashbacks. And questions. Still have flashbacks and questions.
Trouble eating mayonnaise, yes.
Yes, from all the mayonnaise that you ate and you told me about. And Lexi, you delivered the best deadpan into the camera single mom off that
Single mama?
perhaps the internet has ever seen.
Oh, so you have your work cut out.
I'm
for
in
you, man.
trouble.
I figured, you know what, I had to have you both on the show today, all right? And we've got more questions than we have time. So it's gonna be my honor and privilege to curate these and see also what rabbit holes we go down, because that is what it's like to all just hang out. And we've been hanging out a lot this year. We've been doing a lot of projects. So
And even just today, we've been like,
We've been
unstoppable.
Yeah.
I am regretting this suit.
we asked the guests to come looking nice. I don't think I got that memo. It is hot.
You sent the email.
It is hot. I did send the email. I did send the email. I didn't think of the contrast, but that's okay, because for the most part, folks are going to be looking at you. So we'll just cut. We'll cut towards our guests. Okay, so we gathered for a special icebreaker segment for today's show. We gathered a whole bunch of fan questions. Boy, that was a treat. Yeah,
I saw a lot
you
of
saw
them
some
on
yeah.
Twitter.
I retweeted that.
Yeah, thank you all for sharing. We posted far and wide, both publicly on our social media, as well as within our member area. And I have curated a list of questions that I feel are appropriate to ask you all.
But
also we saw lots of the inappropriate
Also,
ones,
yeah, and then I'll share a few of the most juicy ones after the fact. But no, actually, everybody for the most part, everyone was very respectful. Thank you all for participating. We love to do that because it also points out kind of what people want to know, and that's really interesting.
Yeah, totally.
So let's dig in. This is to both of you. Let's just start things off with what everybody wants to know, which is, what is the best thing to do with your hands while your significant other sits on your face?
Squeeze the booty, massage and jiggle and just be in it.
I love that. Yeah. If you have your hands ahead, you can grab boobs too.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, there you
Also
go.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get both parts.
Good
Do you like a pull up?
You have a good suggestion.
Yeah. There you go. Okay. All right. Excellent. Case in point. This one's for you, Lexi. Is there a type of character or role play scene that you still want to try?
I want to be the bratty, like, younger character, because there's so much brat in me that it just never gets released.
Yeah.
And it's just not going to happen.
So,
I want to be like the gum chewing, like hair twirling girl.
I was talking the other day. Seth Gamble had a funny idea for Pure Taboo, right? Because he's also, at this point, he's playing the dad roles.
Yeah.
Sure. He was once a son, but he is now a dad.
Graduated.
He was an uncle for a period of time. Now he's full dad. But he was talking about he wanted to do a story that would end up being like, because he never gets to be with MILFs, right?
Yeah.
Right. So he was like, what if I did a story about, like, for whatever psychological reason, he regresses himself till he's looking and acting like a younger man. We could do some kind of like
Who's doing the makeup?
extended series, like a Benjamin Button. We could do too, where you get to like go back in time, like a Freaky Friday, get to go back in time and be like the brat. There you go.
I actually
see
just
it.
saw Freakier Friday in the theaters because like I'm very rarely going to movies. It was
It was good.
Was it good?
Curtis's
Yeah.
movies. Come on.
Oh, okay. That's a good reason to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sophia,
Sure. Yes.
this is a serious question. This is a legit serious question.
Okay.
Where did your spark for music and singing come from?
Oh, what a lovely question.
It's a lovely
so
question.
nice.
Thank you
That was really
for that
sweet.
question,
Thank you for
whoever
that
submitted it.
question. I've been singing since I was a little girl. I remember both of my parents flipping around in the car when I sang along to Colors of the Wind from Pocahontas when I was a kid. And then from then on, it was that I was the singer in the family. So from then it was choirs all through elementary, middle, high school. And so I think I've just always loved it and kind of had a natural proclivity toward it. And then I was really lucky to be in music programs that were incredible going up through school. So just always done it and loved it.
Amazing. Can you plug? Because I think there's some stuff coming out, right? You got to plug
Yeah,
it.
that's so nice of you. So I have started a singing career alongside of my adult career. And so I'm using the stage name Sophia Vincent because Vincent is the name of a song that my dad and I used to sing growing up that I absolutely love. And I don't want to assault people's eyeballs with my porn things if they're looking for my music things. So I have separated them, but I've kept the first name of Sophia because I'm very proud of what I've done in the adult industry and I'm not trying to separate me from it. I'm just trying to give you both avenues.
The two lanes.
The two lanes.
Yeah.
And I'm putting out a cover every month on Spotify. There's one out right now called Heartbreak Town. And then I am recording an EP of 3 songs in a couple weeks in Nashville with my record producer, Jonathan Wyndham. So
Amazing.
yeah, I'm really excited about it.
Congrats.
And the fans have been so wonderful and so supportive. And I was nervous about that at first because it is so close to my heart, but they have asked for more, so I will give them more.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Congrats, babe.
Thank you.
It feels like this is a weird one to follow up because that was like so
So
sweet.
heartwarming.
But let's get into the orgasms. Are they always real? Are they always
Whatever you
real?
say, Bree. Leave it to Bree for the smooth transition.
Listen, are they always real? The folks want to know on camera. Are there any real orgasms?
It depends on the company for me.
Oh, interesting.
Because some companies are like, okay, and now we're going to build you to an orgasm for the next minute. Like, that's not realistic.
Yeah.
So it really depends on the company. If they are asking for an orgasm, like, I can't just come on command.
Yeah. For me personally, I come really easily through penetration, so I can kind of zone in and come relatively quickly, which I feel like is such a blessing in this industry. So if you hit the right spot enough times at the right rhythm, I'll come.
Yeah.
But for things like, I think VR, sometimes you're not touching anything. You're just doing it in front of the camera, and so that one I think is the one that I've had to like kind of fake.
Yeah.
Because there's just that would be magic.
Can you explain for those that don't really understand how a VR production, because you both have shot VR stuff, what is it like to film a VR scene? Walk us through the setup in the day.
Sure. You want to?
I mean, or I can. Okay, sure. You want to go? Well, I answered the last one. No, it's fine.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's the thing that I really love about VR is that the guy has no control of anything. So it really works for me because I get to envision that like that's my fan in that little camera. And so that is probably why my fans really relate to it so much because I'm like, hey baby, and I'm like talking into the ears and I'm like doing the fake kissing down here. You know, it's all about the visuals and the sensory piece. And that's really where I feel like I excel because I'm a very sensory person and so I know all the little details like making yourself whisper that really emphasizes and when you have the headphones and you're in it and you're immersed, you're like, she's here.
She's looking at me.
And so the guy basically doesn't, like, he kind of puts his hands down. Some companies are cool with, like, him grabbing and stuff, but for the most part, the guys, like, sometimes even just lay on their arms. And they are just there, and they have, like, a tiny screen they can see stuff through. And every now and then I can, like, peek over the camera and be like, yeah, take it. Like, we make eye contact for, like, a split second. But for the most part, I think they were just like really trying really hard not to come and not to breathe too loud. Right. And we're trying to make it as authentic of an experience as possible.
As immersive as possible too.
Yeah.
I like it for those reasons too, because I know on the other side how immersive it is. So it's such a way to get close to me and have that experience. And for the guy, the performer who's doing it, he's representing all of the people watching, right?
Yeah.
So they want to make it as immersive for them as possible. So they're not doing a ton of movements, like you were saying.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit disconnected as a performer experience.
Yeah.
But kind of establishing that connection with the end user is something that I find really pleasurable too.
And it's so hard to do on like your phone when you're recording yourself or something like it's not the same feeling, but it feels like with the technology and the whole setup, it's crazy because they've got this giant like jib arm that is filled with cords and wires and then the guy like slides underneath and they're like, all right, point to your nipples. And the guy like, and the camera's like 3 inches from his face. And literally if he breathes too loud, we cut. And they're like, you need to be quiet.
Yeah.
And so they're like, head off to the side. Like it's truly impressive for all of the male talent who do this.
I did one from the female perspective in Prague. So they have one where you are the one behind the camera, and then the guy, it was 2 men in this case, doing stuff to me and to each other. And I finally had the experience from the other side of the camera. And I said, who is this marketed toward? Because I don't know a lot of women who would pay for VR porn. And they said it's primarily for men who want to imagine themselves in female bodies.
Yes.
And so I sat there getting, fucked into a couch, trying not to breathe too loud, with the camera not hitting me in the face. And then in the scene, I had to record it with my phone. That was part of the scene.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to, with my privacy screen, record that they can use it and do that. And it gave me just such a new perspective and a lot of empathy for the male performers I work with, because it is so disconnected. But I think it makes for such a cool experience on the other end.
Yeah.
When we do cut, though, there is that moment of like reconnection with the male talent. So that is always fun because it's like, okay, get out of here. That was really great. Get out of here, camera.
Now, yeah.
So that's always like nice when we're resetting stuff. There's moments to like reconnect.
Yeah, absolutely. I love this one because it's related to one of the big projects we all did this year. So Camp Conversion, big hit.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Congrats
that
to you.
one. Hey, listen.
That's something I do.
Forward the
that one went.
best.
Congrats to us all. It was a big project, a lot of effort from everybody in the cast and crew. Did super well. Lots of fans from it. And one of the questions we got was, would you like to continue the story from Camp Conversion? Yeah. And I would say, if so, what happens in the next chapter?
Ooh. I don't know. I mean, I definitely want it to continue because I'd like to be in it more.
I think
you'd like to maybe have sex in it.
Like flashback.
It would be nice to have sex in the next one, so
Yeah.
that would be pretty cool. And to have the 90s hair. Don't brag about how much sex you had.
I got to have sex with Lulu too.
Oh, I am jealous.
I know,
Okay,
she's so
yeah,
cute.
she's so great. I would love to. I'm not sure what my character would do.
Yeah, I don't know
next
how my
or-
character. I don't know if it would like be heavily in our characters.
Like maybe
but, like,
we'd have like a love thing.
Like Lana
like
would
a reconnection thing
our
or
like
something.
doppelganger younger selves.
Yeah.
I think it would be more of like that history of like them going through the scene we just saw with Octavia.
Right.
You know, like now back to that story because there was like this little flashback moment of them and like so the audience knew that there was this like love and this romance, but not really seeing how that started. So like kind of the backstory of our characters. So it wouldn't necessarily include us, but it would be the better, it would be good for the story.
I
So you
mean,
have to
but
sacrifice.
let us remember the cliffhanger, which was that those girls walked to freedom, or so they
true.
thought, but really they were
true.
walking into your prison. When you're like, if you like my camp, you'll love my prison.
My prison.
So nothing is like a good sexploitation film, like a good lesbian prison film. So.
Maybe because I cross you at some point, I'm not loyal to you.
But
I
you
get
are
thrown
loyal,
in.
remember?
I am, but what if now I am
cross.
not? I cross and then I end up in the prison and giant girl gangbang with me. Yay!
and that finally triggers your character, right? Who is like got off on the fact that like you had feelings once, but like you still can control her. And now you can't control her anymore, and now you feel jealous.
And now I have this
and now,
crisis.
yeah, there you go. Hey,
Will it end up with a sex scene with me and
Like,
Lexi?
is there sex
Here's
though?
the deal. Can
Is
I
there
have sex with her, please?
Okay,
Thank
all
you.
right. So everybody watching and listening, fans of Camp Conversion, if you would like the story to continue in a prison or outside of it, and you would like Lexi and Sophia to have sex in it, please leave your comment.
Thank you.
Okay, this is an interesting one for both of you. How long do you see yourself in the industry?
Forever.
Forever.
Yeah. Do you see are there any particular kind of bucket list items or things that you would like to do, or is it more just kind of just seeing where life takes you?
Kind of more of the same. I'll end up doing grandma porn if I need to. Sorry, step grandma. Step grandma. Porn. if I need to. I just am so happy to be back in it, and I don't feel like I've burnt out or even like that I'm slowing down.
Yeah.
So more of the same, just more opportunities, more really weird stuff. I like doing the weird stuff too.
Yeah, hey.
And hey,
I got you, girl.
So yeah, I'll do it as long as people want to pay to see me.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, I always say that I'll perform in front of the camera as long as the fans want to see it.
Yeah.
But I think there will also be places to branch out. Like, who knows what's coming down the pike too? This industry changes so fast.
Yes.
And as we've seen just in my career lifetime, almost 10 years, is like we've gone from 0 to 100 when it comes to performer autonomy.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
And being able to control our careers and all of that. You know, like when I first started, I would not have thought that I would have this much control over my content.
How do you feel about, with obviously the rise of AI, how do you feel about the digital replicas that, I know there's companies that have popped up where people can have kind of license agreements for their AI versions and stuff? Have either of you dabbled in that, or what are your sort of thoughts on that?
Definitely dabbled in that. I would advise everybody to read your contract very carefully because that is one of the reasons I haven't put anything out yet. None of the contracts have been acceptable because a lot of them will say they own your image.
Yeah.
And so you just have to be really careful to not allow somebody to be able to manipulate anything that is you because the brand is uniquely you. And so, yeah, it's something that I'm very interested in. And I always go with I'm going to be very open and honest about, you know, that this is not me. I'm not trying to trick my fans into thinking that like they're talking to me really. And so I don't think it'll ever necessarily be able to get to that point because there's so much of me being a real human on the internet that I think my fans would be like, that's not real.
Yeah.
But you never know how good this stuff gets.
I think it's something to watch, and I've also talked to companies about it, and it's not good enough yet, I think, too. I talked with myself on one of them, and I was like, I would never say baby that many times. And I would also, like, it kind of knew about me. It actually pulled from the Adult Time podcast that I did for the information, except that it mixed my BDSM interests. And then suddenly it was talking about me using my rough hands to tie the man. And I was like, no other way. And my hands aren't rough.
Yeah,
like,
you're like, wait a minute, what?
How? Excuse me. So I think the technology's not quite there, but I agree with her that the transparency to fans is something that makes it so it is an option to me at some point. Because the idea is fine. I worry about the parasocial implications possibly because I still have really strong boundaries and there are still parasocial kind of concerns that happen. So if you think you're talking to me all the time, and you know, that might be an issue.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The one thing that, like, in a perfect, you know, utopian world that could be really cool is with the right, you know, licensing agreements in place and the right constraints in place in terms of, you know, brand protection and making sure that one's likeness was being used in ways that fit within your boundaries and all of that. It could be interesting to do, like, you know, a movie or a character that you would always want to play that it wouldn't be easy to do in real life, right? Like if we were going to turn you into a great superhero with all of these powers that normally would rely on like tons of CGI or stuff outside our budget that you could create with your digital character that would be, you know, kind of a film that you're still behind. It's just like your digital version is playing it. I always think like that from a creative perspective.
Like an endorsed
like
AI.
like if it was like, you know, this is me, this is my virtual me in this movie that I helped to create.
Sure.
But because of what it is, it just couldn't be done in real life. So, you know.
Like fantasy fulfillment.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, absolutely. Like giantess Lexi.
Yeah.
Right?
And
I mean, listen, I would love to make giantess Lexi, right? Or, you know, like some of that like stuff that with, you know, because we don't have huge budgets, we couldn't do, but with augmented AI or, you know, whatever
Something
you
like
could
that.
do.
I mean, and how many like sets have we been on now that have like ChatGPT helping to write the scripts and things too? I mean, we're already there kind of on some level, you know?
100%.
Yeah.
which is funny because it's just pulling from the stuff we've already done. So it's just recycling all the ideas back to us.
Which
but
thank
sometimes
God
that's
for
all you
it.
need.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh yeah, that's a great idea. And then you can go from there.
Yeah, exactly. I think it helps.
All right, this one's for you, Sophia. How many people is too many people for an orgy?
Is there a limit, Bree Mills?
The limit does not exist.
Let's find it.
Depends who's paying for it, I suppose.
Yeah, that is actually the
Depends
answer.
who's going to try to like orchestrate that consent meeting that day.
So I have a fantasy, and it's really specific, and it's from very specific porn I watch, which is Japanese news anchor bukkake.
Please
I
explain.
mean, we're already in news.
I mean, we're
anchor.
kind of in. I could be weather girl. You're news anchor. Let's do it right here. Bring
it's
them
happening.
in. Bring
Who
them
am I in this? Who am I in this story? Who's Timmy in this
You
story?
guys are both screaming in the corner.
Sounds good.
But I would love to do something where it's like a true covering bukkake with lots and lots of people, where it's almost a free use idea, where
Yeah.
I'm like reading the news and not paying attention to it, kind of
that's
adding
fun.
to the degradation. Yeah.
You'd have so much cum in your hair
I would have so much cum in my hair.
because you'd be sitting and like reading the news.
Yeah, and then they, like,
would
wipe
have to,
it in a little
stand
bit.
up on an apple box.
Yep,
to
they do.
cum on you.
Yep, they like step up onto the
but
thing.
all
Yeah.
real. It would.
I would have to,
be
because there are some
real.
fake ones out there.
Yeah,
you can
like
tell.
especially in Japan, they have those. They have certain sites in Japan
Mm-hmm.
where it's like you get just dumped.
Right, yeah,
And it's not real,
I've
but
done hentai
yeah.
porn
Yeah, yeah.
here where you do the same thing, where it's
Yeah.
obviously fake, but I would prefer real.
Yeah.
And I would take as many as could.
Now, okay, this is a question. This is a gold star lesbian question. Okay. How?
I love that term. Bree
Yeah,
introduced
I'll
to
probably
that
get in
term.
trouble because I guess it's not necessarily the most. One doesn't want to like not include lesbians who have had sex with men, but as a pure soul. How many men would it take? I mean, I know
many loads would it take
How many
to
men
cover
would
it?
it take to get that full coverage?
Tootsie Roll Pop for porn.
Yeah.
How many? Well, as you remember,
God.
in Madrid, I swallowed 122 loads and took 10 to the face. Right, so
Yes.
132 total.
Yes.
At the dinner with the director.
Did your tummy get upset?
No, they gave
really?
me like 4 medications.
That's just a lot of so they gave.
Yeah, they
so
give you
knew.
medication.
Okay.
They know. There's like a muscle relaxer. Oh no, it's happening again. This is what happened the first time. The nightmares, the flashbacks. But
That went inside of you. I want to know when it goes outside of you.
Oh, it went outside of me, but we're not talking about that on Sexy Podcast, Brie. Jesus. So the dinner beforehand with the director, we went through the math.
Yeah.
Of like approximately this many people are showing up tomorrow. It was 80 people. And if they do this many cum shots, right?
Yeah.
How much is it that you would be drinking? And so we figured, give or take, it's about 1 liter of cum. So
What? Sorry. Go. Me too, Bree.
wow, kink shaming. How dare you?
No.
Wow.
I'm just imagining
Wow, no.
myself doing
No,
it.
to be
and
fair, I thought
cannot.
I might not be into it. And then I was in it and I was into it.
Yeah, when you're
But
in it, it's totally different.
Yeah.
So let's say, okay. So if this is, what is the, oh God.
1,000 milliliters.
Okay, this is 1,000 milliliters. So I would say if you poured this upon your head, doing a news story, getting bukkake, this would be enough. So whatever.
Yeah, you
But
would,
it's not all at
you would
once,
cover. No, it's just, it's in like, it's like little spurts.
Yeah.
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 So it's more
So-
palatable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just fill it with cum and then you'll know.
There you go, folks. You'll soon be able to buy this at home. And you can fill it with water or you can fill it with whatever you want. We do not discriminate. We do not kink shame
I
here.
think you do. discriminate
No, listen,
on that one.
like I
That's
said,
gross.
I am equal parts terrified and fascinated.
Yeah,
I'm equal parts terrified and
I was
fascinated.
too.
And I will never forget. I will never forget that story. And how many stories does one tell in life that are forgettable versus those that aren't? So
That's my whole life is collecting these stories
Yeah.
and experiences and just like, so I'll have them.
Isn't that what life is all about?
So you'll have them for podcasts. Okay, this is going to be my last one because we got a lot of other great stuff to go through today. Actually, this is a good practical one. I'm going to ask it to Lexi, but also if you have anything you want to add after, Sophia. So, what's your process when a performer wants to collab with you? Okay, so creators out there, they want to do a collab. What's like the typical process for organizing a collab, and what are some of like the standards that you would set for who you want to work with and how you want that type of collab to go?
So this is 2 parts. First part is younger performers. Second part is MILF performers because it's a very different conversation. For the younger performers, it's usually whatever scenes we've done together is kind of what sells for them. You know, so it's that typical older, younger role play. And then I usually say something along the lines of, girl doesn't sell for me. Because it doesn't. It's people love to see it, but it's not like my main seller.
Yeah.
And they usually say something along the lines of, me either. And so then I'm like, okay, great. Would you be interested in doing fun strap-on girly stuff? Would you be interested in doing something where we match and do a costume? Like, I try to give a little bit of variety to my fans, because the same typical like position is not just, it's just not, there's nothing exciting there. They can see that in a pro setting that's shot way more beautifully than what I can produce. And so I like to leave that to you guys, the pros. So we always do something like fun, and we do little JOIs. I try to make it like 4 or 5 little clips instead of like a sex scene. And so it really just depends. When I'm talking to a MILF performer, it's more like, we're trying to glean fans from each other and not necessarily steal fans, because fans can be fans of multiple people at once, and we're not competing against each other. But it's very much like, if your fans expect to see you being used in a certain kind of way that you love.
We have done this, yes. Yes, that's correct.
And if my fans aren't looking for something like that, then we have to find a middle ground there. Or at that point, it'll be like, okay, well, we'll do one for you and we'll do one for me, and we both get an exclusive scene. Right. And so that way, it's like your fans get to see your thing, but my fan, and then probably my fans don't necessarily want what your fans want, and vice versa.
Right, yeah.
And
it's
so,
but
I still want to like collaborate with you, and I think seeing us together, all of the fans would love that.
And the cross promotion is great too.
Exactly.
So when you're advertising it, you're advertising each other to your fan base.
Yeah.
So.
And so I definitely, like, I write it all out and have like a list and what outfits and what wardrobe and everything like that. I'm super organized about it, because I know that once we get to that location that we're all paying for, by the way. I'm like, okay, 3 hours, let's get out of here. I'm not trying to pay $1,000 per location. So that's the main thing, is just kind of being super organized and making sure that we know what each brand needs before we get to set. Because if you're on set and you're like, okay, what do you want to do? Yeah. Like, you're wasting an hour just talking.
Yeah. And you haven't prepared necessarily with the right things. I bet you there's probably some stuff that companies can learn from that approach, huh? In terms, right? In terms of, especially when you bring people together, understanding each audience. What I really love about working with a wide range of people, and then also working with them not only in production but also on marketing projects, is you get a sense of what works well for, again, people that are going to join a studio site, which is not the same as people who are going to join a fan site necessarily. There's crossover, of course, but it's also not cannibalizing each other. But you get to understand like what converts for that person, and like you said, like maybe it's not girl that converts as well as, you know, POV JOI stuff, or so you can glean insights to make your scenes better. But I think a lot of times people are just put together either like this, or based on who's available, or based on who has the highest social number, or whatever the case may be. All right, so speaking of high numbers, both of you have done a high number of projects for Adult Time this year.
Okay, I was like, where are we going with this?
Don't know my body count, Bree.
Ooh, I used to keep a track of my notes up.
All right, so you two have been all over the Adult Time universe this year. Okay, so you've starred in such projects as Let Me In Too, Escape from Camp Conversion. Lexi, you had a cameo in The Party's Over. Yes. Sophia, you had an appearance on The Bottom Floor.
Yes.
You were in the has not been released yet, but coming out on Halloween, Under the Bed, The Growth.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
As well as MILF Oasis, and many other also scenes within our library. So really packed year. I want to ask you guys each a couple questions about just highlighting some of the impressive library you racked up this year for Adult Time. So I'm going to start with this one has to do with both of you. So I think at least you, Sophia, mentioned this, if not you both did, that after filming Let Me Into, that you rarely get to work with women your age, and that was part of what was so nice about that project. Walk us through, like, what was it like for that particular project and the days we spent together filming Let Me Into, and why is working with women your own age so uncommon in this industry when MILFs fucking rule?
We rule the world.
It's true. I mean, it's pretty uncommon because we're usually put in an older, younger role play. So I'm really used to working with younger, kind of mid-20s performers, which is a delight. I mean, I really enjoy it, but there was something about walking onto that set and everyone just kind of having common experiences, and it just felt very calm and relaxed. And I mean, until the sex scene, and then it was insane.
I don't know what happened there.
She blanked out. I mean,
girl. That was one of the highlights of my year. No, and I've seen some shit. I've seen some shit. That was one of the highlights of my year, was sitting back and watching the two of you just losing your minds in the best way.
I will say, she went so hard that I dialed down. I decided that
praise.
I decided that my character was more of like a zombie evil doppelganger that was kind of out of it and just going with like, yes, I am mommy, like that. Because you went so feral that I was like, fucking get it, girl.
You're like, she never gets to do this. Let her have
I was like, that's yours.
Well, that's it. I felt like it was like a gift we were all watching you unwrap. Where it was like you just, and again, I love it because obviously we're all such a close group. There was like great vibes. It was a safe space, and just seeing you like having so much fun in that moment. Not that you're never like, you're always like super joyful, having fun, but just like letting loose. That was amazing. It was great.
I think it also had a lot to do with the fact that we had the sex scene on the second day.
Yeah.
And so we had already kind of gotten to be friends and friendly and like had our little jokes on set, and like we had a whole thing before we had sex. And as much as I didn't know Shay personally, I knew Reagan, I knew Sophia, and so like getting to know Shay within that first day really kind of set the stage for us to just kind of go balls to the wall.
I felt that way about Reagan because I had only met her once, and then it was so wonderful in between takes to get to know her a little bit and talk to her. And so I just feel like I have so much in common with women my age, and you just keep pairing us together, which is such a treat. So thank you for that.
It is so fun.
I mean, we're always ravaging some poor younger performer.
Yes. Well, that I love a confident, experienced woman who's gone a little unhinged. Yeah. That is like one of my favorite archetypes. And this year was like the year I cast in all the projects I did this year. It wasn't necessarily intentional, but I started to recognize the theme and like appreciate it. Yeah. For me this year, it was like just casting MILFs in all the big roles. And it was
thank you.
It was a big year, like a hard year in terms of just lots of work, but man, it was a joy. It was so fun.
Well, I will say too, I struggled with being called a MILF when I got back in the industry, because I'd been gone for 5 years, got back in, said, will you have me? And they said, sure, but you're a MILF now. And I had a moment of, I don't have children, and I always saw the kind of like older, confident woman growing up as like maybe overdone or trying too hard or trying to wear cool clothes, but it's cringy a little bit. And so I was worried that was the category, and discovered pretty quickly that it isn't. It is just kind of older, confident, and
it's the power category.
Yeah.
And I realized that I finally felt that way. And I never thought I would be the woman that would be like, no, sweetie, let me show you how it's done.
Yeah.
Right? And I suddenly was, and I feel like I've kind of grown into that role, and now I really appreciate it. So to have roles and to have work that celebrates it is really special.
Yeah. No, well, I remember there was a long time where it was, maybe it was seen, especially for younger people coming up, like it was going to be turning a chapter, which meant closing, whatever, like
Over
your
the
starlit
hill or
chapter
something.
is or something.
Yeah.
And then just all the stars started to be MILFs. They're like, wait a minute, no, that is the chapter you want to get to.
No, that's what I always say. You can be a MILF forever.
Yeah.
Like your teenhood only lasts so long, and the ability to look like that on camera is very short-lived for most performers. And you can always be more of a MILF. You can't be more of a teen.
Yeah.
Did you start out in that category?
MILF from day one.
Started from day one. Wow.
26 years old.
Yeah.
26
I was 25 and I just wasn't in like professional porn for a little while.
There was no babe category when I first started. Like that kind of really happened within like the first 5, like right before the pandemic. The babes really started to become a thing. Yeah. And then once they started to create their own content, they were like ethereal babes with the blonde hair and the so wavy and the bodies and just like everything that a MILF is without the title. And so it's very interesting to see who sees themselves in which role.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So we did Let Me In Too. Which was a great MILF-centric experience. How would you say that compares to the experience you all had filming Escape from Camp Conversion, right? Which was a big cast and a much more sort of like demographically diverse cast of players.
I feel like for my part in Camp Conversion, because I really only saw you and Lulu.
Yeah, you were isolated.
That was my villain era right there.
Amazing.
Came in to just be a villain. And I really feel like it made me feel even more like that character. Like it was almost like I like grew 3 sizes in MILFdom because now I'm like this sweet little Lulu Chu in her little schoolgirl skirt and everything, and I'm over here like literally psychologically manipulating her
in a red power suit.
Yeah, with
red power
leopard
suit.
brawn panties underneath. You know, it's the
nailed the
most
outfit.
80s. Yeah. And so yeah, it made me feel even more of that like mommy character and that like nurturing, but also like the power, right? Like you can use it for good or evil.
Yeah.
I felt more removed from the younger cast, and I had a lot of FOMO seeing all of the promotion stuff on social media, being like, "Well, I'm going to be there in a couple days," you know. But I was in there, and I worked with a couple people. And then what was really nice was the ad day that we had when we all did promotion for it. And then I got to see all of the girls that I work with, you know, on other sets too. And that was really nice. And honestly, that was a time where Lexi and I really got to chat and get to know each other better was on that ad day.
That's true.
Yeah, right?
Okay.
So that was
well,
a really
piecing
nice
together
experience.
when we met each other.
Yeah, and tried to figure out
how long we've been besties.
So as a more experienced performer, do you feel like any sort of responsibility to mentor younger talent, or how do you, when you see someone who's coming up who like clearly is still a little green without being that, sweetie, let me show you how this is done.
Yeah, not condescending.
How do you do you feel any kind of calling towards shepherding?
There's only one place on set where I feel that, and that is when we do sex prep. And I always tell the girl, you do not need to douche.
Oh, yes, thank you for that.
I always tell, like, I am okay with whatever is going on. Like, if you feel like you need to do it, that's on you, but do not feel like you have to do it for me or because that guy gave you a douche.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm very, like, that's the one place where I'll interject without somebody asking for my opinion or
I love
advice.
that. Yeah.
Just because I wish somebody had said that to me.
It shouldn't be something that's,
to celebrate the cum.
Yeah. Celebrate the cream. That I feel mentally in this sex scene. If the girl is newer and they're like, Sophia, can you run this? I'm like, I got this. And I feel very like almost protective, especially if it's a female performer, of like, I've got you.
Yeah.
Like, we're gonna do this in a way that you feel comfortable. There was a scenario recently where the male performer who was younger wasn't super comfortable with the role play that was being done.
Yeah.
And I encouraged him to speak up because I was like, if there's a way that we can change this so we're not doing something that you don't feel comfortable with, I would do better with that. And I said, I'll lose the scene. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, don't worry about me being upset with you or anyone being upset with you. This is a valid thing to be concerned about. And it worked out perfectly where things were kind of toned down a little bit and I didn't get too crazy with the dialogue during the sex because I knew, not to push that taboo role play as much. But I was proud of myself for that because that's something, if I were younger, I don't know if I would feel comfortable speaking up about. And I want to be able to kind of give the younger performers that confidence because people don't mess with me that much because I'm older and confident and a little bossy. So
And you've got guns.
And I've got fucking guns. And so
Do it again.
You want to see it? Look at it. Like right there. I like her brand of bossy.
How to show people what's okay and like help kind of like establish good habits and good expectations.
Right. And people might push them when they wouldn't necessarily push me.
Right, exactly.
And so I've told people on set too, like, hey, there are groups of like female performers where we talk about who's safe to work with on collab levels and things too. And so I always encourage that too.
Yeah. How does somebody kind of get into that? So because I know there's different, like within the community, obviously not stuff that's publicly advertised and for good reason, but there's channels that are established within the community for talent to be able to seek advice and to be able to talk and have safe space. Is that just one of those things where you kind of got to know the right person to get in, or how does one facilitate that kind of network?
Honestly, yeah, I think it's like you meet somebody on set who's like, hey, we talk about it in the girl chat, and then like they're like, what girl chat? You know, and so, but there really is no way to reach out to anybody until you know somebody.
Yeah.
And so if it's somebody that is asking me specifically, like, is this person who, you know, I have a collab with this person, what do you think?
Yep.
I'm like, oh, I don't know, but there's a great group for this where there is surely somebody who has collabed or gotten an offer to collab with
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm always very open about, if you've seen me work with somebody, you can ask me for my opinion on how they were to work with, and I will be honest with you, because it's not necessarily every single person that I've sold a video with I would, 100% recommend. You know what I mean? And so I think it takes.
Also, it's different on a pro set versus your set.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that is why I pay male talent, because they come to me ready to work. And I get a much better product out of them than when we're just collabing.
Right.
Because it's like, yeah, it might be just a collab for you, but like this is a big deal for me and my fans. And then I also like want to control the content, but
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's definitely different when it comes to like a professional set as opposed to, because you have people kind of overseeing you, there's oversight with testing, there's all of those things that you have to kind of remember to do on a...
Yeah, and bringing that into your own productions, it's super important to take what you've kind of experienced in the pro world and bring that in as the same standard, right? Yeah.
is that a train?
I don't know.
I'm hearing it behind
You
this
know,
wall.
this is the adult time basement. We live underneath a train track. So we'll see. But we've got excellent audio, so leave a comment.
Our
if you hear
sweet
the train.
son's basement.
Yes, your son lives in the basement. All right, so speaking, so Lexi, you earned a few fan awards this year, from what I gather, including Pornhub's favorite MILF and XRCO's MILF of the Year.
Congrats.
All right.
Thank you. My
So,
first 2 awards.
so you once said being a MILF is all about confidence. That's the hallmark of MILFdom.
Absolutely.
How did you find your confidence?
Fake it till you make it. 100%.
Yeah.
Like, I was never confident. And this industry really just like showed me that if you just act it that way, it becomes real. And so when I see myself performing, when I watch scenes, and I see the progression of the confidence in front of the camera, I'm like, oh, and then I remember like, this is the time when I was also doing a lot of interviews and I was talking about myself a lot. That also brings confidence because that's a topic I know very much about. Yep. And so I'm very like, I can talk and I can sound coherent and it turns out great. And the fans love to hear us talk about ourselves in this platform, on these types of situations where just giving them insights and stuff like that. So really just being kind of forced into promoting myself, and part of that being interviews. That was, fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
You can do anything with that motto.
That is
honestly.
true.
Like there is so much you can overcome with fake
That
it
was
till you
the
make
motto
it.
for Adult Time's internal team for many years. And still comes out from time to time. So what, of all the different projects you've done for Adult Time in the past year, right, and can either be one of the movies or a studio scene that you did, what stands out as like your favorite project from this year that you worked on?
That's so hard because there have been so many.
Okay, you think and I'll go.
Go.
Okay. But for me, it's Let Me In Too, and yesterday's scene with Mia and Mindy.
Yeah.
And Lana Smalls, of course. It was such a treat to be part of a real relationship and like to see them like preening each other all day, and they're like really just talking each other up and just being a couple. It was so special because that's not really something you see on set. Like maybe there's a couple that works together, but it's not that like loving, sweet, like, it was her first pro scene, so it was just really special to be part of that, and such a great cast, and just like everything just felt so good. Doing that. So, and then of course Let Me In Too with my wild woman, feral Lexi.
Listen, love it. It's my favorite. Wild woman out of control.
I don't know, just the conditions were right, and I knew that the male talent wasn't gonna like try. He was like holding on for dear life.
We were
You
looking
barely
down.
saw his face.
We barely saw his face. We were like, Tyler, you all right down in there? Yeah.
He's fine.
Yeah.
And so just knowing that like there wasn't a moment where he'd be like, and now it's my turn to do my thing.
Oh no.
He
had no
comfort
choice
and
in the
safety
matter.
of that,
Yeah.
which is like I had my other 3 MILFs holding him down basically. I'll do whatever I wanted.
Tyler Cruz completely consented to the whole thing.
Oh yeah,
And I
with
think
a
they had a
smile on
fabulous
his
time.
face.
Fabulous time. But one did not see much of that boy during that scene.
Nope.
He was buried.
In the bed.
Buried in MILFs.
Yeah, buried in MILFs. Which would be a great title.
There's another one. Yeah.
Like I said, I think 2025 was the year of the MILFs for me. I think 2026 is just going to keep carrying that forward because
I support this.
it was a lot of fun. And yes, the scene that we shot yesterday, which will come out by the end of this year, hopefully shortly after this podcast airs, Mommy's Girl, the Discipline Committee. It's the return of Mindy Mink, the iconic MILF herself, Mindy Mink, coming back for the first time in 8 years.
Wow.
Her last studio scene was a Girls Way Girl of the Month shoot. Believe it or not, back when we still did that, which was many moons ago. And her real life girlfriend, Mia Simone, it was her first pro scene. And she was a pro.
And it was her birthday.
And it was her birthday.
Aww.
And we had Lexi and Lana Smalls, and it was just a really fun day. So and a great scene.
Yeah.
Mommy talked through the roof.
I learned so much about leading a girl scene. Like I went home last night and I was like, okay, I have some ideas brewing for the next time I'm doing a mommy's girl. Like it really, because I rarely get to work with a MILF at that level.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Within adult time in this like whole mommy sphere. Yeah. So yeah,
Mommy sphere.
Mommy sphere, I love that.
Also
That's
going to
the
make
next
that a
series.
title. Yeah, also going to make that a title.
So I do have a favorite now that I've thought about it.
Yes.
I think my favorite adult time thing this year was The Growth, actually, which is not out yet, I don't believe. But,
Halloween.
But that was with Lulu as well. Yeah, and Penny Barber.
Yeah.
And Lulu had a parasitic growth, and it squirted black goo all over me. And it was just a fun,
Very phallic parasitic
it was
growth,
very
of course.
phallic, yes, of course. But it was just such a weird, cool
Straight from
day.
the brain.
Like it was
straight from here.
I appreciate your brain, and I like being plugged into it. It was just the perfect mix of like weird and dark, and the different characters were really fun. That Penny was so religious, and then I got to kind of decide in the moment what my character arc was going to be. Like as it was happening, I decided that I would go from being like, this is fascinating as a medical thing, to slowly being turned on to bringing Penny in. Like it was a really fun thing, and I felt confident about it, and I was covered in black goo, so it could be better.
One of the standout moments of shooting this year was when we had to do that one particular, we had to do a black goo to the face shot.
Right, like POV shot almost.
POV
yeah,
shot. And I think we did that at
3 or 4 times.
At least. Because you got to get it right.
Yeah.
And it was it kept just like skimming the hair.
Or kind of the hair, we were like, try to get out of the hair, try to get
Yeah. And it was black goo, so you couldn't really screw that shot up.
Yeah.
So we'd kind of get in the hair, we wipe it off, try again. And finally on the, least the 4th or 5th try, it just hit like a bullseye and then cascaded down Sophia's house for the entire rest of the scene.
Oh, it looked so
Which
cool.
made her look crazy.
Yeah, I looked insane.
Insane. It was amazing.
Oh, I can't wait to see
I'm
it.
so excited about it. Yeah,
Yes.
it was one of those days where I just went, oh, this is why I do this.
Yeah.
Like it was cool.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Likewise. It's fun to be able to have weird ideas and then get a good group of people together and be like, let's bring this to life.
Do my weird idea.
Yeah. And it involves sex, which always makes the things inevitably weirder. So.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so we've come to a segment. All right, so you both are here. You've been here before. Okay. Now, as much as I am like the ultimate variety show host of the Adult Time podcast, all right, there will come a time where perhaps I will be sick one day and I need a replacement. Okay. So I'm making this a little job interview.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to give you all this card. There's a question for each of you. And I want you each to take a turn being the host of the Adult Time podcast to ask the other the question. And I will sit back and chime in as a guest of the
If you
show.
move the chairs, are we going to be out of?
Oh, no. No.
This is right here. This is okay.
Freestyle. All right,
Welcome.
This is your audition.
Welcome to the Adult Time podcast. I am Sophia Locke. I'm very happy to be here, and with me I have my guest, Lexi Luna. Sorry, I'm
introducing
running
me.
this. Okay, this is my podcast. How dare you?
Woo! Okay,
Wow.
Bree, are you sure this is the kind of person you want representing an adult time podcast?
Listen, I will.
You said confidence, fake it till you make it. Okay, I'm very nervous and sweating.
I will issue my judgment afterwards.
Oh no, I'm being judged. This is way worse. Lexi, I have a question for you.
I would love to answer your question.
You look like you're like giving me sexy eyes.
Yeah, this could be the beginning of a porn scene.
I mean, can you please explain to me what FetLife is?
FetLife is a social network for kinky people and fetishists. Kind of like a mix between like Facebook and Twitter, but make it kinky. And you find people who have similar interests, and you get together, and maybe you engage in kink play, maybe you engage in just some, general hanging out, like having a cup of coffee or a little bite to eat, and you just get to know people who are like-minded.
Oh, lovely. I've also been on FetLife for a long time.
No, you have. I just bet you have.
So were there any early FetLife experiences that gave you a significant realization about your sexuality specifically?
Yes, I was fortunate enough to live in an area where I had access to an amazing dungeon space where they taught classes. Actually, Casey Calvert was also part of this dungeon.
Oh, neat.
A little bit of a connection.
Okay.
And so we got to learn about all kinds of different play, how to do it safely, sanely, and consensually, which are the tenets of kink play. And it was really awesome because I got to figure out that I really like the new, something trying a new thing or learning a new thing or, playing in a different way. And that really kind of was oh, okay. It's not necessarily any sex act in particular that I'm interested in. It's this experiencing sex act that I'm interested in.
I love that. I went through something similar where I tried everything and then it was what is exciting after that? Did you kind of have a growth from that point of now I want to show other people or? Yeah,
definitely. Okay. Once I started learning some things, then I was topping in those things because I felt proficient. I felt I'm not going to hurt this person. I'm not going to do anything that could put either of us in danger. So it really just got to the point where I was confident and happy about being able to perform in this way, and that's probably how I ended up here.
And you knew what it felt like too, which is that's so instrumental
too. Anything that I
too.
topped, I bottomed.
Great.
Because I need to know what it feels like to have a needle put through you and that kind of. I did a lot of needle play and I built corsets on girls' backs and I would take a nice string and tie them up. And so during these dungeon parties, they would walk around the rest of the night and show that off because that was the thing that they liked to do. So you find the people who kind of match up with what you want to do, and then you have this great time in this space and to do it safely.
Do you find that you still go to FetLife for some of these things, or does porn fulfill that need for you?
Porn doesn't fulfill any of those needs because it was pretty extreme.
Fair, I haven't done needle play on
I was going to say needle play.
No, we're not doing that. But porn has fulfilled so many things I didn't know about too. I never really had multiple sex partner experiences, and porn has given me a way to do that, and that makes it feel so everybody has already agreed that they want to do this.
Sure.
And so you don't have to be is she really into this? There's none of that, and so that takes away a lot of the stress and anxiety of managing partners during multiple partner sex. Yeah. So yeah, that was porn kind of helped me flourish even more. Because there was never a point where I was oh, I've done so many kink things that there's
now I'm finished.
Now I'm not, and it's not exciting anymore.
Yeah. I love hearing that. Thank you so much for joining us on the Adult Time podcast. This is Lexi Luna.
All right. And so as the director, okay, I watched this. That was great.
Okay. Yes.
My main issue is that I didn't have the right camera setup. So Lexi, you're going to come over here. You're going to come over here for this next segment, and you can have Timmy as your co-host.
Okay.
But that was great.
Sure.
That was great. Was the last question one that you improvised?
No, the last one was yours. The middle one I improvised.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Good work. Okay. Now, Lexi Luna as our
welcome to the Adult Time podcast. I'm Lexi Luna, and today I have a very sexy guest with me. Her name is Sophia Locke, and boy, does she have some stories to share. Let's start with an easy one, Sophia, shall we?
Sure.
Sorry, Timmy's not really working out for me.
Timmy gives me something to do. Awkwardly in the back of Sophia's shot.
Yes.
You've been quoted as saying you like to recharge and go to the gym when you're home. How do you decide how much time you need to recharge versus being on the road? I know you travel a lot and you love to do it, but sometimes it can take a toll.
It can take a toll. I don't take a lot of time to recharge, honestly. The thing that burns me out the most is the travel, not the shooting. So I can shoot all of the days in a row as long as my body is okay with that, right?
Yeah.
It's the traveling back and forth between LA and Vegas that if I do that too many days in a row or too many times in a week, then I need a night to myself to kind of just get a really good night's sleep and stretch, basically.
What kind of stretches do you like to do?
Hip mobility exercises, because now that I'm 40, my back kind of gives me some trouble.
Girl, I feel you. Every now and then I'm sometimes on scenes, my hip opens and it's click, and I'm oh, cut that, please. Cut that out.
Do you get the thing in doggy where sometimes there's a sciatica shooting down the back of your leg?
Yeah, it's hard out here for us.
It's hard out.
This is the real MILF.
Real talk.
Real MILF series here. The real MILFs of porn.
Your singing talent is no secret. And earlier you mentioned you used the name Sophia Vincent for that. So make sure you go check out Sophia Vincent on socials. See how you plug
Thank
there.
you. That was
See
really nice.
that was nice.
really good. That's fine. Give her the job. It's fine.
5 points.
It's great.
Have you ever been asked to perform in a scene, like to sing in a scene?
I have. I've sung in a couple of scenes that were kind of like off the cuff, which is less fun for me because I do want to be able to showcase it in a way that doesn't feel like it feels like it still kind of respects the fact that I do it. I don't want to be like singing during sex or something that makes it like too silly, like gimmicky, I guess. So the opportunities I've had have been nice and have just been kind of a part of the scene. And then there was a director who wrote all of my interests into the scene, and one of them was singing. And so he plugged in the audio and found a track that was like unlicensed and that we could use in the scene, which was really nice. It was Quasar who did that for me. So I was able to do it in that situation, but I do keep it relatively separate otherwise.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, sweet.
That's cool. And when did you first realize you had this amazing gift of singing?
I mean, it was early on-ish, like the colors of the wind thing with my parents, but I have to say that it felt kind of like imposter syndrome for a really long time until I was actually out of the industry and was able to really focus on it for a while, not 5 years. And that was where I built up my confidence in performing and, performed with jazz bands and a blues band and, did all these Fleetwood Mac tribute band, so many like weird things like that I finally felt more confident to be able to say, okay, this is what I do. And I do it well too. Yeah. So, so that's really where it kind of blossomed, was in my 30s.
How long do you feel like it felt for you to feel that way about your adult career?
Fast.
Yeah.
I felt pretty good about, I mean, of course, the confidence thing was, fake it till you make it for me too, when it came to speaking directly to camera and doing dialogue. Things like that took a little bit longer.
Because it's unnatural.
It does feel unnatural. And even with my camming background, it was still scary to do it on a set in front of a bunch of people and say absurd taboo things to strangers and then have sex with them. But it felt very natural for me. Singing always felt natural too, but it was more a part of my core identity. And so there were more stakes.
Yeah, you're protective.
With this, it feels more like, oh, this is my hedonistic existence, perfect fantasy come to life, and I can't believe I get to do it every day. So it's just one of those things where I came to it really naturally. It isn't such a part of my identity that it felt precious. I just was excited to do it, and I've always felt relatively good at it, but gotten better, of course. So.
Well, you are a great performer, and we're so lucky to be able to view all of your performances. And you can check out Sophia at
Nailed it.
Wow.
Nailed it. Well done.
Great
well
work,
done.
you two. Now, I want to keep you both there.
Okay.
Okay, fantastic work.
Yes.
You can have my job anytime.
She can have
Either
it.
of you. For those watching, please drop your comments, right? Let us know how quickly you'd like me to be replaced. And since I have you both in 2 cameras, okay, we're going to jump into a surprise segment for today.
Oh, God.
Okay, which I like to call, it's a competition.
Oh, God.
Oh, no.
Or I'm going to judge even harsher than the auditions for my job. This is the mom off.
Oh, okay.
This is the mom off. All right, so when Lexi was on our podcast the first time, I had her look straight into the camera and chastise a naughty boy out on the internet.
You'll have to check it out later.
Yeah, and it was very good. It was well received. And we're going to do it again. And I got 2 of the hottest stepmoms in town.
In town.
Okay.
Just here town.
These are my stepmoms.
That's true.
And I want a mom off. All right. So on each of you, we're gonna start with you, Sophia.
Oh, God.
Okay, because we've got a reigning champion here. I want you to look into that lens.
Reigning champion, she said.
There is
so
a very
intense.
naughty boy who just got caught on the other end of that lens. And I want you to look right in. And they'll be able to crop me out of this because I will
You don't want to be like sort of in there like this.
I want you to chat. I want you to reprimand that naughty boy.
No. Oh my gosh. Okay.
You can do this. You totally
do
got
this.
Okay, I can do this.
This is what you
All
do
right.
all day long.
Fake it till you make. Okay. All right.
Yes, fake it till you make it. See? Advice well received.
Your father and I are very disappointed in you. I am tired of hearing the fap on the other side of the wall. All right? I know what you're doing. You're a naughty, dirty little boy. You know what I can hear from the other side of that wall? You're not even doing it correctly. That's right. Mommy knows how to do it. Why don't you go to your room, finish your homework first, and then Mommy's gonna show you how to stroke your Good boy.
Well played. All right.
Okay, so what is this?
All right, so
What is this?
Okay, so this is the scene. Okay, so your 18 plus stepson. Sorry,
I knew that was
your
coming.
18 plus stepson has come home with a very slutty looking girlfriend. And you are not happy, mostly because you're secretly jealous.
Yes.
All right.
She gets a whole scenario.
And reprimand.
That's the kind of woman you bring to my house? Have I taught you nothing? You know, if it wasn't for your father, I would teach you and her a lesson right here, right now. But I have a little thing called respect, which you clearly do not have, young man. Now, you leave her right here and you go up to your room and you think about what you've done and you think about a nice girl you could bring home to Mom. Don't worry, sweetie. I'll take care of you. I'm so sorry, but you're not welcome in this house. But you are welcome in the guest house. If you'd like to stay, I would very much like to have you.
You seem way more fun than your stepson.
Oh, I am, sweetie. Why don't I show you around? Come on, come this way.
Okay, even in my slutty little
Oh, you
outfit?
look amazing.
Okay.
Where did you get this? This is so cute.
Forever
All right, so that scene is coming soon. That scene is coming soon to Adult Time. Fantastic work. All right, everybody, you let us know who won that mom off. It was a close one.
I would say it was very.
It was very evenly matched.
That was good.
I will not participate in this contest, but we are going to get on to our final special segment.
Yes.
Okay, this is presented by Spank Bang, okay, who is sponsoring this episode. So this game is called Search History.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Search History.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. You're going to give us some insights into your past, present, or maybe future porn viewing habits. So, do y'all remember the first porn that you ever searched for?
Yes. It was French, not sure why. And it was this man who took this girl out of a tanning bed and took her to an indoor pool that was just around the corner, sat her in like a lawn chair, and they had sex. And I was very uncomfortable watching it.
You know, Sophia, I don't want to say that sounds like a pure taboo episode.
If you write it, I will come.
Nice. Thanks.
It would make a pretty good pure taboo episode. All right, I'm going to think about that.
Okay,
I will credit.
I will always
Based on Sophia Locke's
first. I've never been able to find the porn again. Yeah. It's kind of boring now that I think about it. The stuff I look at now. But at the time, anyway.
All right, so So a French
Tanning bed.
to
Tanning bed to
poolside
indoor
lounger.
pool, lounger porn.
Indoor pool
Yeah.
is a wild
Yeah.
scenario.
Andy was wearing a cock ring.
Oh.
That's also, this adds to the weirdness.
I thought so too.
Yeah.
What color is it?
Black. I knew immediately.
The French.
The French.
All right, Lexi,
his
do you
wee-wee.
remember?
So I never searched porn before I was in porn. The only porn I ever saw was like back when the internet was very new and it would just like constantly porn, like the pop-ups.
Yeah.
Do you remember the pop-ups?
Yeah.
That was probably the only, and I was always so like, X, where are the X's? Like, get it out of here. You know, I was never really into that. But the thing that I currently like is Strapless. Have you heard of this site?
No.
Strapless.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Of course, Bree knows. Haven't heard of News Anchor Bukaki, but
they use the Fieldos.
Oh, yeah. I've tried those. They don't stay in very well.
No, they
but
don't.
they do. But they also have pantyhose and like sometimes it's like a full body
Oh, that's so
stocking.
smart.
So
Okay.
and then it kind of keeps it in and it helps.
That's
So they
great.
just make like a little hole for it.
Yeah.
It's very like sensual. Nobody talks. It's amazing. There's rarely a moan.
Wow.
But
really?
it's very sensual. It's all kind of blown out. They're on this like big floor pad in the middle of the floor, and they're just like sensually exploring each other.
And just
It's amazing.
successfully using the Fieldo, which
Yeah.
is in itself impressive.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Fieldo, I feel like,
For those of you who don't know, the fieldo has a portion that goes inside the giver and inside the taker.
And for a long while, I'm sure I don't know if I don't know if technology has evolved to have kind of a better option, but I remember like for a while the fieldo was, because the thing I hate about strap-ons is like all like
bulk.
It's not sexy.
No.
You can't be like, hold on, baby, I'm putting on the strap-on. Right? So like, if you want to have strap-on sex, it's like it either has to be very pre-arranged, where like I'm gonna have it on already, or it's not a spontaneous sex toy because it's just. It's not sexy.
Right.
So the idea of the fieldo is super cool because you don't have to deal with all the straps or anything. But damn,
It's difficult.
The difficult thing
It
is
doesn't stay
because you're also getting aroused, so things are changing inside both of you, and so it slips out.
Slick.
And,
Yeah, of course. Yeah. It was
But
always tough.
great idea in theory, and the strapless
They have
site is
some that
impressive.
that you like push a button and it blows up and it expands the thing, but also not great.
Yeah. They need to toy companies need to create
That's where we need the
a
innovation.
really good
Strapless
something.
strap-on.
That strapless strap-on. Lexi, we have 2 quotes from you here, and I want to know if we should be campaigning for either of these as new niche categories. Okay, so you've once said, I like a well-dressed man. I'm a sucker for suits. A suit is truly like a fetish.
Totally.
And then also, which I very much agree with, I'm turned on by proper grammar
Oh, same.
and a profound vocabulary.
This is my people. You guys see, this is why I'm here. I'm an ambassador for Adult Time for a reason.
God.
And we made a dream scene for you within your With Love Lexi series that featured very handsome, dignified John Strong in a suit. And that was it. That was it.
Oh, yeah, I do love that so much. I don't know what that is, but it's just, I think just every movie, the scene where like the romance happens is always like they're dancing.
Yeah.
And they're like very like together and everything's so glamorous. And I think it's more just the glamour because the guy in the suit is also with a woman in a dress like you. You know, like it's never just like she's just in sweatpants.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But the opposite is very much true.
But you don't often see like, because guys are not, maybe this isn't always the case, and I think maybe certain companies are different than others, but like the wardrobe for guys, unless it's fitting a particular kind of character style, like you're not going to see a guy in a nice suit.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. But we're always in dresses. We're
yeah.
always in like fitted. Yeah.
Yeah, but a guy in a nice suit, I know there is a site, it's a gay site, there was at least for a time like men in suits or something, but like it makes sense, for guys watching guys. But I guess there just isn't the market. Beyond, Lexi, you're going to have to like find this demographic and raise them.
And very cool locations.
Yeah, yes, very
Also, there's that too.
very cool locations. So what is I don't even know if I want to know this one. What was the last porn search that you made?
Are you looking at me right now?
Right at you.
What have you
tell
found?
us your
What have
weird
you
stuff.
found?
So
And did it help you? Did you get your nut? Did it help you?
it was
rub
last
one off?
night. It was last night. You were like, right.
Yeah.
It was last night, and it was a doctor-patient time stop porn.
Oh, okay.
So
me more.
he was in like the patient gown, right? And she was like, "You've been in here 3 times this month. Like, I'm tired of you coming in. Like, you don't actually have anything. Like, I don't do prostate exams. Like, please stop pushing for that. Like, I'm checking your testicles, but whatever." And so he's pushing her, and she's just annoyed. And then he stops time, which is one of my new favorites.
while she's holding his balls.
Well, he helps after, and he stops time, and so then she's frozen, and he can do whatever he wants to her. So he takes off her clothes, puts her in the gown, puts her on the table, and then he gives her an exam. And I came hard.
Now, is that done by the guy that does like
Hentai and all those. He does do a site called
Romero?
Freeze,
Yeah.
which I would love to shoot for because it's the same concept.
Yeah.
But I found it through like Japanese time stop first because
Yeah.
it's like a bunch of women on a subway or at the gym or at the pool, and they stop time and they go around and they do
And it's
stuff
like
to
free
them.
use, but they're
It's free
frozen.
use, but they're frozen, and some of it's like a little humiliating. They're like licking their faces or like it's just great. It's fantastic.
Interesting.
But yes, Romero does it for Freeze. But this was an old site called RoboMeets. And I originally
RoboMeets?
found it because Olive Glass had shot for it. And so I found one of her. She did a janitor one with 2 guys that I masturbated to, and then realized it was her. And then finally met her in person and was like, "You're my hero for Time Stop." Yeah, which I don't normally masturbate to people I know. But it's just such a fun genre, and I would love to do more of it.
It's consent-wise, it's a tough one.
That's the problem, because my real fetish is like sleep fetish, and so you can't shoot that. And so this is like as close as I can get to that kind of. So
well, the sort of like manipulation of hands, right? And
I mean, you can shoot anything, you just can't sell it.
right. I mean, I could do anything in my private life, but I just won't sell it. So that's
that's
been
a good. That's a good choice. A very fresh.
You're gonna when we go to Germany, you're gonna have to show me.
I will show you all the things.
Come to my room and show me.
Okay.
As long as Allison could sneak in and film the like a reaction.
And then not sell it. Wait, what?
So, Lexi, has there been anything recently that you've taken
I've been flicking the bean to?
Yeah. You flicked the bean recently. Anything interesting online?
No, I've been traveling a lot lately, so it just really hasn't been the right time to masturbate. I don't know.
Well, see, the thing is, I applaud you for still being able to get off to porn, because my relationship with porn, unless I'm just looking at like a very abstract, like action close-up, you know everybody, and if you don't know them, you're like, why don't I know them?
Like,
why
should I hire them?
Yeah, and like, now that
or you're watching the lighting, or you're watching
the location, or like, where is this? You know,
It's why I go international with so many of them, which now is international. Yeah, I don't want to see locations I know. I don't want to see people I know, as much as I like them and enjoy having sex with them.
Yeah,
I want like a separate experience that feels.
Well, porn is intended to be that fantasy, right? So like when
it's work,
when you see all your coworkers, you know, like
which some people that might be there.
maybe, but when your work with them is having sex with them for work, or hearing or seeing all the behind the scenes realities,
you know too much.
The fantasy. All right, so we are. You mentioned going to Germany. All right, so you both are going to be attending Venus Berlin this year with Adult Time. It's going to be a fun time at the end of September. It's the first time we're going to that fan expo. It's basically like one of the biggest fan expos internationally for adult stars and kind of sex fans. So what are your expectations for Venus? What are you hoping to get out of the experience?
I expect it to be crazy, and I can't wait to just dabble in that and not have to be like part of it, but just like be like, ooh, what are they doing over there?
To see it, because I've heard it's a lot crazier than the American conventions. Like the American ones are a little bit more buttoned up. You can't show nipple, you can't. And everything I've heard about Venus Berlin is they are having sex on stage. There's like naked people walking around, and to go with Adult Time and friends of mine is just
insulated.
It's such a treat, and I'm so excited to see if I do have like international fans that will come and like say hi. Like
1,000%.
It'll be really fun.
Absolutely will. Are you kidding?
Absolutely, it'll be fun.
What are you guys going to pack in your suitcase for this trip? We're obviously providing some fabulous outfits.
Yes. We will
definitely be packing the boots.
The large boots that you want us to take overseas.
Listen.
Pairs.
Can we like ship those?
All right. Look,
we would say our grievances.
I am simply the host and the mascot of Adult Time.
That's true. We were given a nice little template of like the outfit options.
It was really fun.
So I'm very excited to like wear stuff that I don't normally wear at conventions, because I always dress like this or like this at conventions, because I'm a MILF and you guys see us this way, and this is my costume. So I'm very excited to wear something. I think that the message that I sent back to Lula was like K-pop fantasy or something like that, because the outfits are very like kind of like streetwear, and it's really fun. It's gonna be a totally different look for me, so I'm super excited about that.
Our designer clearly watched K-pop Demon Hunters or something.
Oh, 100%.
Well, I have to bring a mini Hitachi of some sort, because I learned my lesson. I went to Prague once and didn't bring a toy, thinking it's a few weeks, I'll be working, it won't be a problem. I was feral. Like a monster, a sex demon by the end of it. I did one collab in that, and like that poor man, like I annihilated him. So I have it in my travel backpack now, like a small black massager that I bought in Europe for like way too much money, but I needed it. So I will be bringing it.
Okay, good. So Hitachi. Excellent. And I know that you all are gonna take in some sites. I know that you'll be part of, we'll be doing some activities out and about, some social activities, which everyone can check out on our various socials, but you all have a date booked.
We have a date
booked.
Is this coming out before or after?
I don't know.
I don't necessarily
I'm
tell
not
people what we're doing.
Yeah, okay. Then let's play it on the safe side
Okay.
and say that no, but it's very sweet that you all have a date.
She messaged me about doing something, and I said, I'm 100% in. And then I said, can I Venmo you for it? And she said, no, this is on me. No. And I was like,
and it's a very classy date.
it is.
We're classy bitches.
Yeah, that's true. Lexi texted me.
Look at us.
I know. Listen, my moms are
Newscaster, weather
fabulous. My
girl.
moms are fabulous, and I love to see them reconnecting.
I love to see them reconnecting.
Listen, Lexi texted me. She's like, "Are we going to need to do anything on this night?" And she's like, "Because otherwise,
I'm gonna take Sophia out.
I'm going to take Sophia."
I'm so excited.
Yeah, and she dropped it. Okay, well, yeah. So we're not going to spill it just in case.
Just in case one of you
But
tries
it's
to
gonna
follow
be-
us there.
Yeah, definitely not
good
that.
point.
Definitely not that. But also because it is so cute, people should just discover it when.
Yes.
When
I'm sure
do
that my
any posting.
historian here will be taking videos and pictures of the entire
I
night.
take BTS of everything all of the time.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that means I don't have to.
Fantastic. Happy to
Yes.
do it.
No, I
Happy to
love
do
your.
it.
You do excellent BTS.
Thank
really
you.
does.
Thank
No,
you.
no.
I just like sharing that I do cool
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
No, and it's I remember.
Cool.
Yeah, I remember. One day we will be like, we need some BTS from you. Please
Oh
come.
no. Oh no.
Okay, so we are going to end with the most beloved segment of all, the clickbait segment.
Great.
The rapid fire. So we're going to take her home with some of these questions. Definitely, when it feels appropriate, you can look into your lens and deliver the message. So I'm going to ask some questions. Y'all both can chime in. If you could name a sex toy after yourself, what is it called and what does it do?
I would name mine the hole, and it would take
Just a giant
It
hole.
would take cock and cum.
Just a bucket.
It's just a bucket. I'm just a cum bucket hole. You're welcome.
All right. the
Wait, what
hole.
about you?
I think mine would be like Lux Luna.
Ooh.
Right? Yeah.
So much classier.
It's already there, right? You're already
the
feeling
whole
the whole bucket over here. And I think it would just be like, it would be like a vibrating panty, but like way better than the vibrating panties that are on the market.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like almost like a palm of vibration.
So it'd be like bring Luna with you, or bring Lux Luna with you, kind of.
Yeah, you could like take it. You could.
Would it be like a panty liner, but like?
I like the ones that go into the little
Into-
pocket in
into
the
the
panties.
pocket.
Oh, fun.
But it would be like, it's like the entire panty is vibrator.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be like a removable thing. You would just
Yeah.
like wash it in this. It would be
just
a
wear it.
sink wash situation.
Yes, very nice, very nice.
thought
All
about
right,
this.
Good. Take note, everybody. What's one trend that you are seeing in the industry right now that surprises you?
The shock value stuff.
Yep.
Like,
The how many people can I have sex with at once to get as much attention as possible, which is fine because I've had lots of sex with lots of people. I can't.
How many loads was
Can't
that?
knock that one. How many loads? But I'm so curious to see it from the outside as a business model of like, how do you make it bigger than that? How do you make it bigger than
yeah,
that?
how
and
do you
bigger
one
than
up
that?
yourself the next time? Where do you
Right.
go from there when you have already done the most extreme thing?
Yeah.
Or you're
Yeah.
engaging in this type of like clickbaity stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's-
that's
I want to ask you because I'm fascinated by that as well. It reminds me, there's two things that I'm seeing. The first thing that I'm seeing is, and obviously we're talking about some big kind of OF creators that are doing some of these
Sure,
crazy
yeah.
big stunts. But what I'm seeing is whether or not they're real fans, the kind of these super fans being brought into the narrative
Right.
of some
It's
of these.
very like fuck a fan. You have a chance to.
It is, and it's very like
bringing it
it's sort of
back.
becoming a reality show where the super
Yeah.
fans of the OF stars are starting to become like characters in the OF, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah,
And it's interesting, like whether is that where we're going, like,
That's
or
fine
is
if
that
that's
just
someone's business model.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
no,
fine,
totally.
yeah.
no, but like, and I genuinely wonder, like, do the folks watching like? Is that the next step where just people are going to start to become characters in the narrative, right? Like art imitates life, life imitates, you're like, no. But the other thing that reminds me of is like the late 90s, right? Which is like what was it? I can't remember the name of the performer, but back at the sort of dawn of the internet, to go kind of viral on the internet, it was like how, I'm going to fuck 500 men.
The Houston 500.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
right. It was all
Yeah,
that stuff.
one.
And it's
That was-
just the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, to me, it's like just
Well,
Everything
pretty
is
much one
cyclical,
being-
right?
Yeah.
We see it in fashion, we see it in porn.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
once
guess
things
so.
hit a certain level and things get saturated, like you use shock value to up the ante.
Yeah.
That's where it's
Yeah.
important to have your loyal fan base that will
Yeah.
carry you through these like insecure
Like trendier,
times,
or
or
trendier
trends
times,
or-
yeah. Or something that you're maybe not comfortable with for your own model.
Right.
That's why I just try and say, this is me authentically. This is what I like to do. If you want to watch it, come along. And sometimes that involves lots of people, or sometimes it doesn't. You
Yeah.
know. So it's
Yeah.
interesting to see people come in as that is their whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and how easy it is to do a stunt, and how many people believe it when I'm like, I know where that was shot.
And
Yeah,
also,
yeah. Or I know
for
who's
how
under that
long?
mask.
Yeah.
For how long are we going to, is it going to be something,
Yeah.
like you can do 1, 2, 3, 4 maybe stunts in your career? Like,
Yeah.
at what point do people be like, oh, she's doing that thing again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
No, but it is an interesting
Milk
thing that's
taken.
happened I would say within the last year, those are popping up more and more. What's the most unique compliment you've gotten from a fan? And unique can be good, it can be weird.
I have someone in my DMs
Currently?
every couple of days.
Every couple
all
of hours.
caps. Sophia, I want suck juicy big tits. Stop that. I see you. Please stop.
She's like, I know who you are.
But juicy big tits. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah,
So
exactly.
I am conflicted.
Silver lining here. The constant compliments that are just going into the
And they're always the same, right?
Churn and burn.
Or like
Yeah, or it's the exact
variations
same.
on the same. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
and
every day
I
at 2 o'clock, I'm going to press send on the juicy big tits.
That's a lot. I've just never been like that much of a fan of anybody to, first of all, not pay them, and then second of all, just send them the same things every day. It's a bizarre kind of universe that we're
Yes,
in.
yeah,
I feel
totally.
like I hate admitting that I see all these things, all these messages.
We see all of
We
you.
see
Just
everything.
know that we're not responding because we choose not to respond.
Yeah, we don't like it. We don't like
Yes,
it. I'm just in
yes.
there just in case someone gets scary or it's somebody I do want to connect with that's trying to get through, you know?
Yeah.
But-
Well, it's always like I find it fascinating, the people that will send like the same comment verbatim, no matter what you're posting.
Yeah.
And like there's people who will say the same, like, yes, something, Romy Rain, BBC gangbang for every single
one.
post that Adult Time does. And
Yeah.
it's like,
Are you a bot?
yeah, like, what's
Yeah.
happening?
I don't know if it's, I don't.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But listen,
Nice
whatever.
to hear about my big juicy tits at least.
Yeah, exactly.
I have a lot of fans who love my nose, that it's
Oh,
imperfect,
Yeah.
and that it's like, it just gives my face character. So
love
that's
that.
probably
We
the
think it's
sweetest
beautiful.
compliment.
I like that.
And it's actually been edited a couple times in productions.
Really?
Yeah, and I always hit him up and I'm like, hey, undo that.
Yeah.
I am not ashamed of my nose, and you shouldn't be either.
Good for you.
So I always make him change a bag.
No, I think everybody's got that one story of that one photo shoot where there's like weird retouching.
editing.
I know my there's one of my wife where they made her feet really big.
Like long or wide?
Well, she was like they had put her in these shoes that were like, it was just skewed.
Yeah. The
Wrong.
perspective was off.
That's weird.
Weird.
Like clown
yeah.
foot.
Yeah. Yeah, you get the ones where like they're your butt's been enlarged or whatever. Yeah.
Strange.
Yeah, we don't do any of that.
No, I know.
Yeah, I don't like that.
All right, folks. This is going to be our last question for today. What is the most overrated sex tip that you've heard?
I would say that doing the alphabet with your tongue when going down on a woman.
Yes.
Oh boy.
It's terrible advice. We all have different sensitivities in what we like down there. And I think that weird focus on doing this very strange thing with your tongue, it just doesn't,
Have you ever had anybody do that to you?
I've had some weird situations, but what's interesting is I've worked with a lot of gay and bi male performers, and it's some of the best pussy eating I've ever had.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I'm the first vagina they've ever touched with their tongue.
Oh, that must be fun.
Yeah.
Which is it is fascinating. And my theory is that when straight men are growing up, they're given all these advice and tips and tricks, and here's how you make girls orgasm, here's what you do. And then gay men are given none of that. So they're just I don't know what that is, I'll just make out with it.
Yeah.
And that kind of works.
just make out with it,
I'll just
yeah.
make out with it.
That's really good advice.
So I think there's kind of less brain noise maybe.
Yeah.
That's my theory.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I did have a guy once, in a very quiet room start to hum into my vagina. I think he thought it made a vibration, but if you like go, it doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
So he just quietly was humming into it, and I was staring at the
Humming
ceiling.
for himself, like.
It was really awkward. So
Yeah.
don't do that either.
Yeah, no humming in a quiet room.
In
At
a
least
very-
make sure it's a loud,
Yeah, make it
loud
loud.
public space.
Mine might be a little controversial.
Okay.
That you just need communication. And it's like, yes, there is communication that's necessary, but it's not always the way that you think of it. Like, sometimes it's not talking during the sex or about the sex. It's the pre and the post, and to like really figure out with your partner what it is that you like when it's not high stakes, when you're already in this vulnerable position of like, what do I say? How do I start the conversation while he's inside me?
Yeah, fair.
So, what do you like?
So not that.
So not, just saying the general, like, you need to communicate more is not helpful.
And it's also not, it's not easy.
No,
Like
it's
you said,
not.
right? It's
Awkward.
not easy. So it shouldn't be a given, like, yes, absolutely. But yeah, it's not the easiest thing. So I like your idea of like, do it a little before, do it
There
a
are
little
levels of
after.
communication.
Pre-game, post-game.
Totally.
Yeah.
Not in the middle.
I love the
business.
post game. That's my aftercare. Is
Yeah.
talking about what I liked during
That
it.
was really fun. Oh my God, I
Yeah,
loved
and then when
it.
you did this,
Yeah,
and then I loved it when your tongue did it. It's so good. That's my favorite. I do it every time.
All right, ladies, it's been a blast. You both have my job.
Yay!
Great. You're both my moms. You have too much
Co-hosts.
pressure. There you
I
go.
love that.
There you
It's
go.
so cute.
You both are two of our favorites. Thank you so much for
so
being
much
here
fun. This was
today.
fun.
Yeah, really,
This was
thank you.
totally fun. We did it, guys. We'll see you next time. All right, woo!
Hey.
Let's get into the orgasms. Are they always real? Okay. Are they always real?
Leave it to Bree for the smooth transition.
Listen.